I'm absolutely so excited for our next guest because I absolutely love his pictures and what he does is called astrophotography. But before we get to him, I'll give you a little bit of an introduction. He's been featured twice in Nat Geo's Editor's Favorite for 2018 and 2019. He's also been featured in the cover of Astro Philippines last May of 2018. He's also been featured in the largest, biggest social media platform of astrophotography online, which is called Milky Way Chasers. He's also won the astrophotography contest at the University of Florida. So if that's not an achievement already, I don't know what is. So hey Maverick, thank you for coming and joining me tonight.
Hey Rox, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, I can already see the pictures behind you, and I am already so intrigued, and I can't wait to start diving into what you do. But right now, a lot of people are asking me what are the top gadgets they can buy to start their journey in astrophotography.
Okay, first things first. If you're on a tight budget, you can always use the phone because phone nowadays have professional settings or the pro mode. Yeah, so there you can use the manual settings to capture the stars. Aside from the phone, you need DSLR or any camera with a manual setting. That's what you use to capture the night sky. But you need a specific lens, a wide angle lens, specifically the 14 millimeter or much wider than that.
Is
The
there
next
a brand? Oh, sorry, that you can recommend?
Uh, I think most of the camera brands are good right now because technology. But looking forward, if you're gonna really invest on astrophotography, you should look up those like brands like Sony, the Fuji, and every other mirrorless because the camera world is shifting to mirrorless now. So yeah, that's what you get. Aside
Okay.
from the camera, you must also need to invest on the lens because you get the quality from the camera, right? But it's not actually from the camera; it's the lens.
Ah, wow, okay. The lens I know is for diving, and yeah, it's very mahal. It's very
Expensive.
expensive. So, so I was looking into like the bubble lenses, and I don't know what other lenses you call them. Talk a little bit more about the lenses, or like in a nutshell, what's a
Okay,
good, affordable beginner's lenses?
so if you're gonna focus deeply on astrophotography, you need a fast lens. Fast meaning wide aperture, like 1.8, 2.0, like that. 2.8. There's lenses like that are quite expensive, but there's a prime lens right now called Rokinon or Samyang.
Ah,
It's the less expensive. It's the least expensive lens, but the quality is good. It's not really cheap, but
yeah,
around
yeah.
$200 like that.
Okay.
That's the cheapest you can get for that lens.
Okay, that's good to know. At least they can already start searching those brands.
Yeah,
And I would assume the fifth one would be a tripod.
yeah,
Memorize ko na eh.
tripod. Yeah, the most important thing in astrophotography is the tripod because most of the people when they get a camera they get a cheap tripod, right? Because it's not much use for them, or it's senseless to get a expensive tripod, right? But you have to put in mind that the camera you're putting on is like 70,000. What and you just buy a 1,000 peso tripod and it'll fall down. So no good.
I think they have to remember they're shooting outside, so they're going against Mother Nature. And if it's windy or if it, I don't know, if it
Yeah.
rains, you want to think about the wear and tear. You know, it's expensive. Like what's a good quality tripod that is at the lower price range of the tripods? Because I know mga parang up. And sorry, can we also talk about the height? I don't know if
Okay.
that's important because they have heights for tripods.
In astrophotography, you don't really need a very long tripod. You just need a sturdy one. So just like mine, I'm using the Benro. I'm using it here in my phone.
Okay,
I'm,
we can't look at it now.
yeah, it's a Benro tripod. It's the cheapest I can buy with a good quality. It's around 5,000 like that.
Okay.
So
Woo! Yeah.
because you need to have a, especially in astrophotography, because slight vibrations can shake the stars.
Yeah.
You need stable tripod for
Yeah.
that.
Quite an
Yeah,
investment, so I think it's gonna last
yeah,
a lifetime,
yeah.
hopefully.
That's it. You don't need a
Right.
tripod anymore.
Yeah. Is that something they can get online as well? All of these
Yeah.
items, would you recommend, because now it's COVID and all, are they able to buy this online? Do you think they can depend on reviews, or is it still
Uh,
important to check it out physically? For the lenses, the
uh,
camera. I mean, sorry, not including the phone. We're only talking about the DLSR, the lenses,
DSLR.
and the tripod.
DSLR, you can buy some of it online. You have official stores in like Lazada or Shopee. I bought my DJI Osmo in Lazada, so that's good. I think I saw Rokinon lens on Shopee or Lazada here in the Philippines. So and the tripod also you can buy it in online
Shopee,
too.
Lazada. Great. Yeah, everything is there. Wonderful. I think last time we tackled also lighting. What three tips can you give for taking pictures at night when it comes to working with light? Because I'm looking already at the pictures behind you. The lighting looks amazing, but of course I think that's the edit. You mentioned using flashlight,
Yeah.
regular
Uh,
flashlight.
because when you start in astrophotography, it's like when you most of the people focus only on the Milky Way, right? So if you're in a really dark place, the foreground is very dark. So you need something to brighten it up, like because it's gonna be a silhouette. Or if that's your art, still it's okay. But you really need to make things pop. If you know what I mean, like
Yeah,
if example, there's a tree. That's my favorite thing to
right.
shoot, a tree, a dead tree. So if I'm gonna shoot, if I'm gonna shoot it at night, that tree is just a silhouette without light. So I put one flashlight behind it, and I put no no I use my phone screen to lighten up the front. So
Okay.
the final image you're gonna see is a tree with a backlit on it, and you can see the details of the tree.
Is
So
is it the same one, the one behind you? I can see a dead tree. Well, actually, the one behind on the
this
lower
one,
part. Yeah,
this one,
and the left one.
yeah,
Yeah, that one.
yeah, it's the same. It's the same. Can you
Ah,
wanna? I'm gonna zoom it so
yeah.
you
Let's
can.
have a look.
Yeah,
Okay.
you see
So,
the.
ah,
And
okay.
sometimes you can also use a very dim flashlight, because you cannot use a regular flashlight in painting the trees, because the exposure for the stars, it's gonna get blown out, the light's gonna get blown out, so it really needs to be super dim.
Yeah. What kind of flashlight are you using? Because when I think about flashlight, I think of the one pang
Just
brown out. But like,
yeah,
I don't
just a normal
know.
uh, just a normal flashlight to do. Like for me, I use a waterproof one because I'm gonna put it underwater sometimes.
Yeah.
So if the light is, that's why I told everyone that I teach that you must first need to understand light before you wanna focus on astrophotography like that. Because example, when you light up a tree and the flashlight is white, right? So you need something to color that. So that's why I use everything I can find, like dried leaves.
Can you walk us through, let's say, a shoot? So, like, step one, this is what I do. I put the flashlight behind, and then step two, turn on the light. Step three, like that. Step four, prepare
Okay.
the settings on your phone, and then so on and so forth until the final product is when you edit. So we won't talk about editing anymore. Just more of
Okay.
like walk us through the
The
techniques.
shoot. Okay.
Yeah, the shoot.
Then there shoot. Okay, first is day one. I'm gonna scout the area during daytime. I'm gonna example in Chaton. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna find using the Starwalk app, the one I told you about. You can see the Milky Way during that time in that place. So I'm gonna scout it first,
Can we
and then
mention the sorry? Can we mention the
okay,
Star Walk app? So it's called Star Walk app, and
two.
you can download this
Star,
on
yeah,
your
Star
iPhone.
Walk
So,
two.
okay, now can you tell us more about Star Walk 2?
Starwalk 2 is a free app for Android and iPhone. It tells you where the position of the Milky Way is and what time it will come out of the horizon. Just like the sun, it comes out, right? So it tells you what time the sun comes out. It's the same for the Milky Way.
Oh
So
my
you just have
god!
to point it there. You need to
And
download.
and you can use this app for anywhere you are around the
Yeah,
world. It will tell you.
anywhere,
That's
anywhere. Yeah,
amazing. That's
yeah, I
great.
know.
Okay, so you're saying so yeah. So you do an ocular. You go to the venue, the place that you want to shoot
Yeah.
during the day.
Uh-huh.
Then you check your Star Walk 2 app,
Yeah.
and
And
then
then I ask permissions for the locals there, so they won't think, they won't, what do you call that?
they won't
They won't get suspicious of me
they, they
because
won't think
I'm
you're
in the night.
spying on them, peeping tom at
Yeah,
night.
because especially in dark areas, like they all have. After that, I'm gonna wait for a new moon. New moon is a night with no moon at all, because that's the best.
Oh,
That's the best time to shoot the stars, because that's the brightest
yeah.
time. So when it's new moon and it's perfect weather, I'm gonna go to that spot again, and
Okay.
then so first thing for going to that spot is I'm gonna make sure everything's in the bag, especially batteries
Okay.
and SD cards, because there's many times I've gone to shoots without them.
Oh,
I just make sure the batteries of the cameras are there,
okay.
especially yeah. So there, once I get there, I also bring my coffee,
Okay.
some snacks, and
Yeah.
music.
Right.
So once I arrive, I always arrive early, as much as possible daytime.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna camp out to get the most of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. I feel like you need someone shooting behind the scenes because I mean, like this is such a nice
Uh-huh.
experience. It's not only that you're able to capture the Milky Way. It's very
I
therapeutic.
agree.
It's therapeutic. I feel like personally, it's something even I would wait for if I'm coming from the city, just watching someone taking pictures or just being under the stars or seeing the results of your astrophotography. For me, it clears my mind from all my
Uh,
checklists and I'm able to focus on something that's very creative and artistic. So it's very therapeutic. Sayang, wala kang behind the scenes cameraman.
uh,
I need to apply.
Before I don't have one, but now there's
You have
someone.
a, you have a special
Yeah,
assistant.
yeah.
That's good. I feel
I
like that's
finally
really
found an
good.
assistant. Sometimes I don't even bring a tent because I just put my camera there and set it up and wait for the Milky Way to rise. We cook dinner with my friend. I bring my friends along with me. They're my
Okay. They're your
partners.
bodyguards.
Yeah, so we cook. Just I think of it not as a shoot actually, but the shoot the shooting part is just an hour or two. But what we what I'm after, there is the time, the bonding, the everything. Like just imagine being on the side of the beach and after the camera setup and all, just listening to the music and
Yeah.
uh once just a normal night, I think the minimum amount of shooting stars I see is around five. That's the least.
When do you decide na okay na yung picture ko, I have what I need? Because, there are those artists or photographers who are very OC na parang, I need another shot. Wait, what if ganito? I mean, the opportunities are countless and endless. So when do you decide, okay, I'm gonna put my cameras down muna and be content? Because, sometimes OC
Yeah.
eh.
So that part is decided during my scouting part. Because at the moment of the shoot, I just want to enjoy everything there in the night. So that's why I shoot days ahead. Yeah, because I don't want something else to distract me. Because at the scouting part, I already understand how the Milky Way is gonna rise, how my light, it's all in my head already. How I'm gonna
Right.
set up the shot. So
Okay.
the day of the shoot, I just there to implement it and enjoy the moment.
And it's easy for you to see because you've been doing this. May experience ka na. How long have you been, if it's okay, let's talk about the accident. So how old were you when the accident happened? You were trying to take a picture of the boat or something, then biglang
Yeah.
dumating yung, so how old were you? And in total, how many years have you been doing astrophotography?
So that's the first time I've done astrophotography. That was back in 2015. Back then, it was only a handful of us in the Philippines who actually shoot the Milky Way.
Okay.
I can still remember those days where every time I upload photo of the Milky Way, everything from Facebook, Instagram is just like that's fake, that's edited. No one would believe me. Right? Yeah, so I just keep at it. So I've been shooting the night sky for around 7 years. Oh no, 6 years now. It's 2021, so
Yeah.
6 years now. The first time I got featured in Milky Way Chasers, you should check that out.
I saw you
Ah.
put the post on Facebook. Wow, Milky
Yeah,
Way is,
yeah.
I clicked their pages and they feature everyone around the world. Now it's so amazing that they were able to find you online. I'm assuming they found you by searching the hashtags. I guess Milky Way photographer or
No.
astrophotography. Is that
Actually,
how they found you? Yeah.
no. Actually, we have a Facebook group of the Milky Way Chasers too.
Okay.
Every day, I don't know how many thousands submit their work, and I mean it's international, right? Every corner. So to be featured and represent the Philippines is a big honor for me. It's a big achievement for me.
Right. Yeah. There's not a lot of astrophotographers that get. I mean, are you the only one, or are there other Filipinos that got featured?
No, right now there are a lot, but it used to be just a handful of us. So.
Okay. Okay. You want to talk about like the halo by using the drone? Yeah, I think that would be
Okay.
an interesting lighting technique for those who have drones.
So what I did is I took a 30-second exposure of the tree using my DSLR, right? So once my drone, the latest drones right now have built-in LED lights on them, like the landing lights. So
Wow.
if your drone doesn't have that, you can just tie a light there, something to grow. That's what I do. And
Okay.
once I started, I put the drone above the tree and make it loop. There's a feature in the drone that makes it perfect.
Go around. Okay, that's great.
So once it started looping, I captured it the 30-second exposure, and that's the result I got.
Wow, it's the one behind you.
Yeah, this one.
That's great.
You can just edit it.
Wow, that is so great. Yeah, I know it's easy to just edit and put a halo there, no? But it's
No, I
nice
mean-
to know that.
You can just edit it in your final video, like.
Oh,
Most I see is like they have the Milky Way, right? But I can, as experienced astrophotographers, we can really tell if it's fake or it's not, because there's an app right now that you can replace the sky. But
wow.
one look and we can tell it's
Oh
not
my
real.
God. Yikes. What groups can aspiring astrophotographers join online? Because I think community is very important.
First off, if you're from the Philippines, you can join AstroPhotography Philippines. And the second one I would recommend is the Milky Way Chasers group. That's for me. That's the best. That's the best group there is for astrophotography. You can learn. That's where I learned my stuff.
Wow, yeah. That's great. Is there a mentor you look up to? Because you said you learn a lot from that group, but is there someone you're in touch with these back and forth send messages, or do you follow videos? Is there an idol that you have?
Back in 2016, I said to myself, I'm gonna recreate this kind of photo. Like I saw the photo and it's just breathtaking. And my photos just everything's dark. 6 years right now, so I think I can compare mine with his. Or not.
Wow.
I mean, not really that close because he's of course he's ahead. Yeah, but it's kind of close. I'm getting closer. I'm getting there. So
What's
his
his
name is
name? Yeah.
Yuri Beletsky. Just follow him.
Yeah.
And the other one also Chris Bertard.
Okay.
He's from California. He is not a astrophotographer, but landscape, a nature photographer. But his work is just amazing. Actually, astrophotography is very similar to landscape, minus the gears and the settings. Just like shooting the sun in the morning, right? Most people aim at the sun directly. That's what everyone would do, right? So all you're gonna get is a silhouette if you're gonna aim for the sun. So
Yeah.
what the technique there is, you need to have a good foreground element. For example, the sun is rising in the east. You must shoot where the light of the sun hits, like where the yellow hits, like that.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
another technique. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's similar to the Milky Way. The Milky Way alone is boring.
Yeah.
Perfect landscape, it's gonna look magical.
Yeah, I don't think about those things now. Okay, obviously the sky is moving, and then
Yeah,
what
yeah.
used to be there, and then now it's there.
Yeah.
It's so important to acknowledge that taking care of Mother Nature and being aware of global warming is, it's also crucial to astrophotography. Obviously, if there's pollution in the sky, you won't be able to appreciate the stars.
In my case, I'm always active because I'm always hiking. I rarely do exercises, but I'm always on the go. I'm always hiking like that. I'm always sweating. For Mother Nature, that's why I don't geotag my photos, because I don't want people swarming there. I just say it's from Shaton, but I don't put exactly where. Yeah, so just when,
Yeah.
especially when it's really captured good, but in reality, it's just a dead tree.
Yeah.
So people would go there and leave their waste. Unless it's really popular, it's a tourist spot, I won't geotag my locations.
You're from Negros Oriental, particularly Dumaguete. I don't know if you want to. I don't know if you want to suggest places, because you want to keep the place like virgin and it's exclusive, and it's a safe space, diba? And then you have your yearly thing, kasi lang may pang
It's okay. Nah, and the only thing that I'm keeping a secret is those places that are not yet really tourist spots or like that. So actually, you can go astrophotography anywhere. You just need a light map. A light map indicates where the light pollution is. Where there's no light pollution, that's where you should be. And yeah, in Dumaguete, near here, you can shoot the Milky Way perfectly in Dawin, in Shaton, sa Bangita, there, upper part. I think you can also shoot it in Bais, but you need to be away from the city. But the sky is really not that great there, so it's more light polluted. And Mabinay to there in the mountains part.
Are you able to capture the bioluminescence water together with the Milky Way and the dead tree? I don't know how you're able to put all of that together.
That's my goal one day. I wish I could find a place like that. But right now I captured one, but I really need to move the water first. So so
is it possible for someone to be in the water and then like play with the water while not unless there are waves, right?
Yeah. Here in Sandbar, in Manuyod Sandbar, daytime there is great. It's not much and all, but it's in the night that's you can see magic really, because the first time that the water will go down and the sun will appear. When the sun is still wet, when you step on it, it glows really, and you can see the Milky Way. I
My
think
gosh.
that's breathtaking moment for me.
What country would you like to visit? What's your dream country to take to do astrophotography?
Of course, it's Iceland. The aurora.
Aurora Borealis, the
That's
Northern
that's
Lights.
my dream. Yeah, and another country also is Bolivia. You can see the reflection of the sky and the ground. Because as long as in astrophotography, kasi it's not those. It's not. It's also the skills. It's also the gears, but the main thing you must have in astrophotography, especially in astrophotography, is guts to go alone at night and shoot out there. So yeah, you can always do that if just be safe, just take calculated risks. That being said, you asked about my experience.
What was the hardest, most challenging photo shoot you've ever had when it comes to astrophotography, and how were you able to overcome all of those obstacles?
A shoot involving rain, because especially with the couple, like the prenup, the one you saw, the couple on top of a hill with a tree. That's actually that was a very 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 lucky shot. Just an hour before that, it rained heavily. I mean, it really rained.
Oh my god.
We were not expecting a clear sky, but we just stick it out to the end, and the sky opened up for us. We have the most challenging, right? But I also have the most dangerous one.
Oh my gosh.
There was one time I was shooting there in Guhulngan. It's I think north of here. It's known to have rebels there, right? The NPA, like that. So I was not worried at all because I was beside the sea. And the rebels are usually on the mountains, right? So
Okay.
there was going because I saw these mangroves on the seashore. They're really good, and I was talking to an old guy there. I told him that can I go shoot there? Of course, you have to ask permission, right? So they won't.
It's their land.
I-
That's where they live.
yeah. So I asked. It's a public. It's just beside the highway. So I never thought there would be a danger there. So I was there. I was shooting around 30 minutes after I set up. I saw I think six guys coming towards me. Like I was thinking this is the time we're gonna get robbed.
Oh my god. Are you alone?
Yeah, I'm always alone shooting.
Oh my
I'm just
gosh. This is the
see
time when.
yeah.
Yeah.
When we met, I was also alone, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
So
you're thinking, oh my god, magkano na yung camera ko? Take it na,
yeah.
tripod ko,
So
no?
I was getting ready because six. There were I think six or five of them, and just wearing shorts and sandals like that. So when they approached me, the one guy has a gun, a
Oh
gun,
my gosh.
a Glock with long mag. So he pointed the gun at me and said, "Tagasa ka ba?" It means where are you from? Yes.
And he just did that with his
Yeah.
gun.
Yeah, I was shocked. My heart was beating. I told him that I'm from Dumaguete Tourism, and I'm just shooting the mangroves, the stars, and I showed him the pictures. I showed them the pictures, and they asked me if I have a contact there, if I'm alone or who am I with, what did I coordinate with the barangay. It turns out after that, so they told me that just be careful next time. Next time, coordinate like that. They didn't tell me who they were. So after that, after they told me that it's dangerous, because they told me the noon before I arrived, noon that time, someone got shot. So I don't know. I'm not from there, so
Oh my
uh,
gosh.
they,
What
they
what
told
place is this? Where was this?
Gihulman, Gihulman. It's still in Negros, and after that, when they finish talking to me, I told them, "Can I finish my shot?" Because it's good.
Oh my
And then,
god. And they said okay.
yeah, yeah. And when I leave my motorcycle's park where they were tambay, where they were positioned. So
That's the blue motorbike. Yamaha ba
yeah,
yun?
yeah, yeah, Yamaha.
I remember, I was looking at your bike. Eh. Sabi ko, yung ganda ng bike na to.
So so when I was leaving, I told them, "Kuya, wala ko. I'm scared of you guys." They're all
Oh,
laughing. So it turns out they are actually what do you call that? Military with the civilian, like what's the term for that? Undercover military, because they have rebels NPA there that are landing during the night, and me, I'm wearing all black and I have a tripod. It's like
oh my gosh.
so
Oh
by
my
far
god.
that's the most what do you call that? Dangerous and really
Memorable experience.
memorable experience shoot I did in AstroPhotography.
Yeah. Yeah. So even if the app, the Skywalk 2 app tells you to go up in that dangerous mountain, like don't always listen to the app because it's not worth it for your life.
So,
Oh my
so
gosh.
speaking of that app, what I use it for is like, if example I find a nice spot. Usually the Milky Way is in the south, right? So I just look at that app if the Milky Way is positioned perfectly on top of that. So that's what I use that app for. So you can always try that.
Yeah. Okay. We have everything now. Exciting.